Story 1. I feel very alone. Thank you all for being kind. Do me a favor. If you have a friend who you think or know is struggling, reach out to them. It really could make a difference. Story 2. I really want a hug. I have not been hugged in so long. It would be nice. Story 3. My wife is currently having an emotional affair with a coworker and shows no remorse. Her family and friends seem to support her. About a year ago, I had serious anxiety for several months, and my wife found someone else during that time. My whole world feels destroyed. I feel like a loser. I am too embarrassed to tell my friends, and I do not know how I can continue. She starts individual counseling tomorrow, and all I can hope is that she at least realizes how hurtful she has been. I cannot imagine being with anyone else, but having your wife tell you she may be happier with another man drains all of your self-worth. Story 4. I'm tired of pretending everything is going well. I have lost all motivation and drive to do well in life. I keep telling myself it will get better, but nothing is going right. I just want a hug from someone who really cares and to be told everything will be okay. I want to drop out of school so badly to recover, but that is not possible. Edit. Thank you so much for all your encouragement and kind words. My day got better. It is getting late here, and I will continue reading and replying tomorrow. I appreciate every one of you. Hugs. Story 5. I don't know how I feel half the time. I find other people's emotions relatable and I can empathize with them, but my own feelings are hard to define. I hate that I lie about myself to seem more interesting. It is so hindering. I feel so stupid afterward and start cringing. I don't know if I'm stupid or intelligent. I'm definitely lazy. I know that much. I don't feel wanted or needed in my life, but logically I know that is not true. I associate being wanted or loved with physical affection, not sex, and those interactions are rare. I'm not scared of dying, but I am afraid of taking risks. Sometimes I even think death would be a good option, because I feel there is no predetermined purpose to living. We have to create a purpose, and I don't know what I want mine to be. I had no idea this would get so much attention. Thank you for the awards and comments. I never knew how good internet points could make you feel. Sincerely, thank you. Story 6. It is one of those things where you do not know what is wrong with you. Story 7. Only one of my friends ever contacts me unprompted. Whether it is via text or a quick drop by, I would not hear from the others if I did not message or call them first. This is not as bad as some stories I have read, but it has been bothering me for a long time. Update. Thank you all for the words of support and for sharing your experiences. I wish you the best. Update 2. Thank you for the awards, but I do not know what they mean. Reading your replies is more than enough. If the awards cost money, please spend it on something for yourself, even if it is just a beer, a chocolate bar, or something healthy. Most people deserve that, and I am certain you do too. If you are inclined to give, I am sure there are nicer things you can spend it on than a mystified stranger on the internet. I cannot keep up with all the replies and messages, but please check the pinned resources if you are in any sort of need. I am sure the people on the other end of those links do not mind your questions or stories, however small they may seem to you. I would love to reply to everyone, but I cannot, and I am sorry. Update 3. Fix some typos and wording. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Story 8. I honestly cannot. That is basically the problem. I just do not care at all, and it is really hard to express that. Story 9. I just tried writing something for the past hour and I cannot share my emotions, even with a bunch of strangers on Reddit, so I guess that is something to share, at least. Edit. Thank you all so much for commenting. This is the first time I have had this many people care about something I said. I am not the talking type, so I probably will not message you about my feelings. The most I do to show my feelings is through music. Either way, I am still reading new comments. You are awesome and really made my day. Second edit. My girlfriend has just told me she is losing feelings for me. Everyone else seems to be doing fine in my life. Story 10. Every time I trust someone with all my heart and soul, they betray me. I have started keeping things to myself. I am done trusting and opening up to people. Story 11. I will probably be moving across the country by myself for a job with subpar pay during a global pandemic. Wish me luck. Story 12. I do not want to accept the fact that I am depressed because if I do, then it will be harder for me to overcome it. Story 13. Give us a pat on the back and ask us how we are doing every now and then. As small as it may seem, it can mean the world to someone. I did not expect this. Thank you for the awards and your kindness. Take care. Story 14. I am constantly angry, anxious, and depressed, and it is absolutely exhausting. Story 15. I act indifferent and as if I have things under control, but in reality, I'm terrified of the future. I think about 100 what-if scenarios each day. I don't like to talk about myself because I feel like I'm not interesting and people do not care about what I have to say about my life. Thank God I have good friends, but I cannot even share those things with them. Please know I read each comment, and my burden feels much lighter knowing that strangers relate to me and comfort me without knowing me. Thank you. Many have suggested I look into therapy or anxiety medication, so I'll do that. Story 16. My wife needs me to be mentally and emotionally strong, capable, confident, able to make decisions, able to lead and manage. I cannot show weakness, anxiety, indecision, or exhaustion in front of her. I cannot make mistakes, but I am weak, anxious, indecisive, and exhausted because I am only human. The year 2020 has been a tough year for everyone, and in addition to the coronavirus disease 2019 pandemic, I started a new job in a new country and carried the brunt of all the administrative, logistical, and financial management of moving us. I have decision fatigue. I wake up with a sense of dread. All I really want to do is hibernate, but I can't show it. She loses faith in me if I don't keep a stiff upper lip and handle it like a man. She supports me in many practical ways: shopping, cooking, cleaning, and childcare. But what I need now is a friend. Someone I can be myself with and share my fears and vulnerabilities with. Someone who will let me be less than perfect. She won't let me do that because it scares her too much. She needs a strong man to cling to, and if her man turns out not to be strong, she lashes out in fear. So I have to bottle it up. I used to have a group of male friends. I couldn't really discuss these things with them, but at least we could go out for a drink once in a while and unwind. The coronavirus disease 2019 pandemic and the move have put an end to that. I now feel that I have no one really who is close enough to share this crushing burden of responsibility. It is affecting our marriage because it doesn't feel like a partnership. A husband and wife should first and foremost be friends, but she says she can't be my friend because friends don't have to rely on each other financially. It's like being married to a housekeeper or secretary. We have sex from time to time, but without the emotional support of a friend, I feel like that, too, is a performance. I have to adopt a persona of a super-masculine, hyper-dominant real man. Anything less she calls disgusting. She doesn't even like cuddling afterward because she thinks it's pathetic and that real men don't cuddle. They have sex and leave. I am deeply unhappy. The only people who know are random internet strangers. One day I swear I'm going to crack. The only reason I don't is because we have a child. Story 17. It is not worth sharing. Every single person I have opened up to, from my parents and friends to bullies and others, used it against me in some way and it psychologically affected me. I would not claim that I had depression, but it made me become 100 times more careful when I speak my mind. I have developed a habit of talking to myself when I am alone because I cannot keep some thoughts and feelings locked up inside. Update. I am new to Reddit. The willingness of strangers on the internet to listen to each other simply to make someone feel better is amazing and shows how supportive the community can be. My heart goes out to everyone dealing with similar situations in life and hoping to reach a better place. Story 18. I had a dream a few nights ago of someone simply giving me a hug. I woke up with tears on my face. Story 19. I'm really sorry you're feeling so overwhelmed. Sounds like you're dealing with a lot right now. Are you safe right now? If you are in immediate danger, please call emergency services now. In the United States, call or text 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. If you are elsewhere, please contact your local emergency number or a local crisis hotline. It might help to tell someone you trust how you're feeling, or to call a crisis line or a mental health professional. If you'd like, I can help you find resources, help you write a message to someone, or edit your text for Azure Text-to-Speech when you're ready. Do you want me to do that now? Story 20. I kind of wish my close friends remembered my birthday today. They usually remember down to the exact minute, but this year none of them did, at least so far. I know they are all busy and have bigger things to worry about, but I would be lying if I said it did not make me feel a bit lonely. Thank you everyone for the birthday wishes. Just a quick update. The important people eventually reached out and wished me a happy birthday. I am feeling much better thanks to them and to you. Story 21. I am afraid I have bottled up my feelings for so long. If I am ever lucky enough to find someone I want to open up to, it will either be impossible or everything will come out at once and scare them away. Story 22. I've been feeling completely unmotivated and worthless for almost a year now. I have a lot of friends and I've talked to them about my problems. Even though they were supportive, it still didn't help me. Now I feel bad talking to them about it because I've done it multiple times already, which hasn't helped, and I don't want to bother them anymore. There is no hope with my family either. My parents are divorced and all they care about is having influence over me. They don't ever care how I feel. The one time I tried talking to my dad about my problems, he kind of blamed me for it, got mad that I was keeping to myself and told me to be more social, which helped a little. But here I am now. I haven't talked to my friends in weeks and I can't imagine doing it anytime soon. I don't even know what to say anymore because there are so many parts and layers to my problems that I don't know how to explain them properly. The worst parts are the self-loathing, crippling anxiety, and possible attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, which I can't get tested for because I'm too scared. I'm just lost. I don't know what to do, how to solve my problems, or even how to think rationally, because one problem leads to another and it creates a cycle of serious life issues. Story 23. Honestly, every time I have opened up to friends, they have treated me differently and I have noticed. Showing no emotion seems to be rewarded. Story 24. There's only one person I want to talk to, and she hates me. Story 25. I am fairly sure I have bipolar disorder, but I do not know who to see to find out for sure. Story 26. My ex-wife mentally abused me for years and physically abused me on separate occasions. I have been separated from her for 2.5 years and am in the process of getting a divorce. She still harasses me and the woman I have been dating. I have asked for help from the police and the court system on several occasions, but I am mocked and laughed at by the judicial system. They ask, "What, is this woman going to beat you up?" I am afraid I will end up with a knife in my chest before anyone listens or takes steps to stop her. Are you in immediate danger? If so, call local emergency services now. If you are in the United States, call 911. For domestic violence support in the United States, call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. If you are elsewhere, contact your local emergency services or your local domestic violence support organization. If you are not currently in immediate danger, consider going somewhere safe, documenting incidents and preserving evidence, contacting a lawyer, and reaching out to trusted friends or a local shelter. If you want, tell me your country or city and I can help find local resources. Story 27. I just want to give each of you a hug. Rest your souls, weary warriors. Story 28. I'm having a rough time in life right now. I'm 16, so you can make fun of me for being angsty, but I still have things I want to say. The world feels increasingly large, and the problems my friends and I face are becoming more serious. My friends have depression, anxiety, separation anxiety, sexual trauma, and experiences in foster care. I have had recurring nightmares about my dad for over 5 years. I recently learned I may have a heart condition that could prevent me from doing the things I love. I see a cardiologist tomorrow to find out what is wrong. Life feels awful. Maybe it's just me. On top of that, I had my first actual suicidal thought the other day. I am not suicidal, but thoughts of jumping from my second-story window entered my mind and terrified me. I have been dating a girl for 1.5 years, and last night I realized that my love for her has hidden the fact that, by caring so much and giving up so much of myself, I am losing myself in the process. My self-esteem and self-confidence are very low. I struggle to find activities I enjoy and things I like about myself. I may have to make the difficult decision to end the relationship, and that weighs heavily on me. In summary, life grows more complex every day, and I am struggling to cope. Thank you for reading. I hope this is what this thread was for. I'm sorry you are feeling so overwhelmed. If you are in immediate danger, please call your local emergency number now. If you are in the United States, you can call or text 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. If you are under 18, please contact a parent, guardian, teacher, or another trusted adult right away. You do not have to go through this alone. Consider reaching out to a mental health professional, a school counselor, or a crisis line, and I can help you find resources if you want. Story 29. I love my parents, but I feel very shy saying, I love you. That's all. Story 30. It sucks not to have any real friends. I am not sure what is wrong with me. Story 31. My eating disorder has become severe again. I am extremely lonely and isolated. I have lost friends by being independent and confident and by not texting or calling first. So now I am nearly alone. I am petrified about the future. There seem to be a million paths and no direction, and I am so stressed that I cannot begin a clear path. I am terrified of dating because I still feel extremely insecure about my body. Tonight, my first day off in a while, I woke up, masturbated, ate junk food, vomited it, and started drinking. Now I am on Reddit. I am so depressed and anxious. I do not know why. Story 32. I had a loaded gun held against my head a couple of weeks ago. I lost my girlfriend of 4 years, and when I tried to put forth the effort to fix the problems that led to the breakup, she told me, "You aren't worth the effort." She took almost all the furniture, and as far as I know, she is already with another man, which confirms she had been cheating on me emotionally at the very least. I'm okay now, but it was a very close thing. Story 33. My mother is chronically ill and her brain is deteriorating quickly. My father is understandably very stressed after so many years. He is the only other person in this household I can really talk to because conversations with my mother are not possible. He is too stressed to have the energy or time, which leaves me very isolated. I finished high school in the spring and moved back home after living with my best friend for 9 months. Before that, I was doing the same as now, taking care of my mother to help reduce my father's stress while completing the International Baccalaureate with 5 higher-level subjects. I am currently spending my sabbatical taking care of my mother, who is in a vegetative state, instead of getting a job, saving money, and gaining experience. I am 20 years old and I am not living my life for myself. My main escape is going to the gym. Exercise and the release of dopamine are probably the only things keeping me from falling into a deep depression. Cooking, which used to be a hobby, has become a daily chore. I imagine my sabbatical would involve saving money, maybe getting a girlfriend, and traveling with my best friend, not only caring for my parents. It can take weeks to have a real conversation with people, and I feel very alone. The quarantine only makes the situation worse. Story 34. Hey, if anyone wants to direct message me and share, I promise to listen. No judgment. If you want advice or for me to respond with uplifting messages, I am here for you. I do this with the men in my life. I make sure to check in on them. I let them vent about women, work, self-esteem issues, doubts, insecurities, and other concerns. I care deeply about people, and I feel sad that men often feel they cannot open up. I am putting the offer out there in case someone needs it. I truly care and want to be there for you. Thank you everyone for the awards. I have been having a rough week myself, and this is such a lovely gift. I am here for you all. I feel blessed. Story 35. For fuck's sake. This is so much harder than I imagined. I am still broken on the inside. My soul is like Coventry after the Germans raided it during the Second World War. I am afraid of sinking into depression for the 6th time in my life because it has become worse and lasted longer each time. The only thing that kept me alive was my then girlfriend, who left me. I consider myself a massive disappointment, a failure to my family, and I think my family would be better off without me. My family, especially my parents, were a major reason for these 5 depressions. It would only take a little push to push me over the edge into suicide because I do not want to struggle for a 6th time. I am still not over my breakup, even though it happened more than 2 years ago. I still cry from time to time when I think about the past. Edit. I should clarify some things. I am quite certain that I am not currently depressed. The last time I was in that slump was 2018. I am simply the wreckage left after that time. No, as of right now, I do not think I need therapy. I get by in my day-to-day life, and as long as I do not think about the past, I have no problems getting through. Daily tasks. Yes, I know I have a very skewed perception. That is the result of my last depression. It is not something I can change easily, and I highly doubt I can change that perception in the near future. Things improved between my family and me, and the last depression played a huge role in that. Thank you to everyone who reached out. I wish I had done that 2 years ago. Seeing strangers online care enough about someone like me made me cry. Thank you all. Story 36. I'm sorry you're feeling this way. Are you safe right now? If you are in immediate danger, please call local emergency services. If you are in the United States or Canada, you can call or text 988 for crisis support. In the United Kingdom and Ireland, Samaritans are available at 116 123. In Australia, Lifeline is at 13 11 14. If you are elsewhere, you can find local helplines at findahelpline.org. If you'd like, I can help you find someone to talk to. I want to be free from nations, systems, norms, and ages. I hate feeling and thinking, this is a beautiful planet but a sad world. I wish I could return to the void and non-existence. Story 37. I hate it when expectations are placed on me. I will start college next year. My parents expect me to pass and get accepted, and they want me to maintain or improve my grades. I do not want stress. I want to live peacefully and as stress-free as possible. My parents are not bad. I know they want the best for me. I am afraid I will not meet their expectations and will disappoint them. To relieve stress temporarily, I usually play games, watch shows, or read books. I spend a lot of time on those activities because they help me forget my problems and feel at ease. Sometimes my parents criticize me for spending too much time on them. I want to tell them that these activities help me calm down, but I do not know how, and I am not sure they would understand. I feel like there is no purpose in my life. I wake up, attend online classes, listen to teachers, complete assignments, sleep, and repeat. I do not know what to do with my life. I feel like an empty husk with no purpose. I am not suicidal, but sometimes I wonder what it would be like if I had never existed. I have no goals or dreams. I barely feel any happiness and do not know what would make me happy. I feel completely lost. I did not think this would get much attention. I was not expecting any responses. I just wanted to vent. To everyone who shared their stories, told me how they coped, and said I can get through this. Thank you. Reading your positive messages helped make my day. Story 38. I can't stop feeling like a failure at the thought of my fiancée leaving me someday. My logical mind says she is committed and loves me, so it probably won't happen, but I have been ghosted several times before. If she left me too, the worst part would be the shame of not seeing it coming. Those past situations may have happened because I was socially oblivious, and I feel broken. Story 39. I'm overwhelmed. My wife and daughter are both medicated for anxiety. My son is a teenager, so we see him for 10 minutes a day at dinner. I go to work, get home, clean the kitchen, wash the dishes, cook dinner, and feed the cats. I'm the only one who cleans and cooks. If anything is being done, I have to be part of it. Because no one wants to do it alone. We have had some doctor's appointments in the city, and I have to take days off work to drive because my wife will not drive downtown. Even though no one leaves the house, I am lonely. When I finally sit down in front of the television, the kids disappear to their rooms and my wife falls asleep. There are real mental health issues in my family, and I understand. I'm not trying to shame them or be selfish. I'm just overworked and lonely. Story 40. I met an incredibly beautiful, smart, loving woman, but I work abroad and I must leave after Christmas. After 3 failed relationships that only lasted months, she is the first person with whom I can see myself having a stable, happy relationship. The thought of a long-distance relationship breaks me because I know I cannot do it. I do not like texting or video calls, and they rarely work. She also receives a lot of attention from other men, and I feel I would lose her quickly. I am sad and trying not to fall in love. I always felt that I would not find anyone for me, and now that I have, I cannot be with her. Story 41. I wish my wife understood how negative she is and how much this affects me. I honestly don't remember the last time she said something positive to me without being prompted. Story 42. I wish I were depressed because then I could at least reach a breaking point when bad things keep happening. As it stands, I just take it and it gets deeper. It never stops because I never hit a limit and break down, so I keep carrying heavier loads. It's not less hard for me because I'm less emotive. It really sucks. Story 43. Every failed relationship I have had is my fault. I am self-destructive and depressed and have been for some time. My actions and choices over the past years have boxed me into an inescapable lifestyle and mindset. I want to die, but I am too much of a coward to do it myself. Instead, I will live a miserable existence and let my vices lead me to an early death. Thank you for reading. I am sorry you are feeling this way. If you are thinking about harming yourself or are in immediate danger, please call your local emergency number now. If you are in the United States, you can call or text 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. If you are elsewhere, please contact your local emergency services or a local crisis line. Consider reaching out to someone you trust or a mental health professional. If you would like, I can help you find resources or contacts in your area. Story 44. I am pretty sure I threw my life away for someone who would never really love me back. I am worried my daughter will grow up the same way I did. I did not have a bad childhood by any means, but it is not what I ever wanted for her. Story 45. I tear up during the sad part of nearly every movie, even if it is made for children. I am pretty sure something is deeply wrong with me. I am not talking just about films like Up and Coco. I cry at moments such as when Groot says we are Groot or when Moana's grandmother sings to her on the boat. Story 46. I feel nothing in life. I'm just drifting through each day at the moment. My biggest problem is that I can convince everyone I'm fine and act like someone people assume is happy, because I'm afraid to talk and I worry I will bring everyone down. My kids are amazing and genuinely keep me going, but I hate everything else. I hate my job, but it allows me to stay at home and do very little. I know I would hate any job, so I have no idea what to do. I feel like even if I won the lottery, I would just say, oh cool, because who even cares? I feel pointless and worthless. Story 47. I have a dream, but my family thinks it is impractical. I want to be a meteorologist, but in my country science is looked down on. Still, I know that God is in control. I am currently in high school. I work on my days off. After completing my assignments, I study basic weather concepts at night, little by little. Sometimes I cannot study because of a lot of homework. I am determined to make it work. I know it is difficult, but I have fallen in love with meteorology. I know so little now, but I am determined to learn more. This is my dream, and I will do what I can to pursue it. Maybe after a few months or years my family will accept my dream, or I may realize that it is not for me. Time will tell. Update. Thank you all for your kind words. I cannot explain how much it means to be supported for who I am and what I want to be. I did not expect this to reach so many people. I do not care about upvotes. I care that you cared for me and my dreams, and that people reached out to tell me to keep going when I thought I should stop. I appreciate the words of encouragement, advice, tips, and suggestions. One person even sent me a study resource. Bless their heart. I send you a virtual hug. I wish you a wonderful day ahead. May your deepest desires come true, no matter how impossible they seem. Story 48. I cry every morning and every night because I miss my stepfather so much. I regret taking him for granted and not realizing how much I loved him, how happy he made me, and that I will never be able to tell him all these things. My mother and sister do not understand my feelings, and my brothers make fun of me and bully me, saying at least I had a dad. My friends do not get it either because they have never experienced this kind of pain. Story 49. It's not that we are unable, simply that nobody cares. Story 50. I don't even know how to reach out to my emotions except in extreme cases. I refuse to be vulnerable even in front of my partners, and I am unable to understand why. This was partly why my relationships have all been utter failures. I don't think I'll ever be able to feel love. Story 51. Men already know this. Sharing our feelings with anyone drives them away. Even my wife says, "You're supposed to be strong. Quit complaining." As if sharing feelings equals complaints. I just want someone to say, "I hear you and I understand." Story 52. I'm currently doing a teaching internship at a school. I've put in a lot of work and tried my best, but everything seems to go wrong. My teacher observed me yesterday and said I need to be more dynamic and show more expression. She also said I wasn't creative enough. It made me question whether I want to be a teacher anymore, which feels sad. I still have 4 days left, but I can't sleep or eat. I have constant headaches and I'm exhausted. Hopefully the rest of the week will be better. Story 53. I thought I had made a good friend. He said he was a hugger and touched me a lot. I put my hand on his back a few times and he thanked me. 2 days later he said it was creepy and told me I could not come over anymore. Then I made a new Xbox friend who was very clingy. He got mad at me over a small comment I made to another friend, said rude things, and blocked me everywhere. I need hugs and physical contact, loyal male friends, and not to be treated as if I am trying to sleep with someone for wanting affection. Update. The first guy said he was lonely and I thought I was helping a friend. He did not want me to go to sleep and wanted me to stay up late so he could talk, and we had been drinking. I think he was closeted and liked the attention but could not handle it. Story 54. I feel alone. I have my wife and kids, but aside from them I have no friends or anyone I can trust. My wife's anxiety and depression are difficult to deal with. I love her and willingly shoulder her burdens, but it can be exhausting mentally, emotionally, and physically. To the few who read this, thank you. Story 55. I feel invisible because I don't have a 6-figure job, 6-pack abs, I'm not 6 feet tall, and I don't have a phallus longer than 6 inches. I haven't contributed anything significant to society and probably never will. I am one of those who will be forgotten. No legacy. Story 56. I am much happier than I appear. I am completely satisfied with my life and would not trade it for another. I am terrible at showing it. I never smile or say kind things to people. I feel bad about acting like a grump because others might see me as a negative person. I do not know how to look happy on the outside. Story 57. I'm not in the best mental state right now. Every time I try to talk about it, other people give the same advice. Stay strong, you're not the only one. I get it, but it is not working, damn it. Every day feels like a slog. I have to force myself to pretend I am fine to others and to myself. I am tired and lonely. Story 58. This has by far been the strangest and toughest year of my life. I feel lost, alone, and like a failure. I used to be someone who could hold others and support them, but now I can't. I'm shutting out everyone I care about and just want to hibernate. I tell my wife how I feel, but she is focused on herself and her own issues and cannot support me. She is used to me being the one who holds her, but now I can't. She feels I make all the decisions and therefore control and manipulate her, but I made those decisions because someone had to and she was not willing to take responsibility. I do not want to control her. I want her to take charge and lead our family while I heal my wounds, but she won't and it is tearing us apart. I am now unemployed for the first time in my life. I need positive energy to make the career change I have been aiming for, but I have only negative energy. I can hardly find the will to get out of bed or take care of the house and kids. Story 59. Because of coronavirus disease 2019, I can't remember the last hug I had or even a handshake. I haven't hugged my parents, grandparents, sisters, nieces, or nephews in so long. It makes me really sad, but I can't say anything because it would make me look a bit weak and everyone is in the same situation right now. Story 60. We cannot and will not share it. That is why we are all committing suicide. I am sorry you or others are feeling this way. Are you or anyone else in immediate danger? If someone is in immediate danger, call your local emergency number now. If you are in the United States, you can call or text 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. If you are outside the United States, please contact your local emergency services or a local crisis line. If you want, I can help find resources in your area or stay with you and listen. Story 61. I don't have any reason to exist. Not that I'm looking to harm myself, but it just hurts knowing that you could literally die tomorrow and absolutely nothing would change. I'm really sorry you're feeling this way. If you are thinking about hurting yourself or feel in immediate danger, please contact emergency services or a crisis line now. If you are in the United States, you can call or text 988. If you are elsewhere, please contact your local emergency services or a local suicide prevention hotline. Would you like help finding support or someone to talk to? Story 62. I have no idea what I really feel. Many thoughts pop into my head, and although I do not have obsessive-compulsive disorder, I struggle severely with intrusive thoughts. Sometimes I panic about whether these thoughts are real, which spirals into convincing myself they are, and it takes a long time to return to clear thinking and realize that what I was panicking about was never a real concern. Story 63. I feel pretty down lately because of the pandemic. Work is stressing me out, and I think it is making my early-stage balding worse. Story 64. I'm so tired of working through constant physical pain to provide. I'm big and strong, so apparently I cannot show that I am in pain from years of injuries and wearing my body down. Everyone says you are a big guy and you'll be all right. Fuck you. You have no idea what it takes to get out of bed and prepare to go to work. Story 65. At this point, isn't it pointless? You live your life handling it yourself. Whether you handle it well or poorly, that's how it is. Even if I could get myself to tell someone those kinds of things, I'd immediately feel weird about it. That's what it's like being a guy, right? Story 66. I feel responsible for many things, and only a fraction of them are directly within my control. Story 67. I'm fucking tired of helping people overcome their problems and of being forgotten once they're better and never asked how I am. I want to get this weight off me and be able to eat and sleep without feeling this existential dread every 5 minutes. Story 68. I'm so terrified of ending up alone. I want to be in love, content, and comfortable. I want someone to love me, hold me, and accept me for who I am. I want someone worth working for, someone I can be my best self for. Story 69. I miss my dog. I have a great wife, 2 amazing little boys, and a supportive family. This year, I had to put my dog of many years to sleep after trying to fight cancer. He was the one who motivated me when I was overseas, always happy to see me no matter what before we had kids, and he was likely my closest friend. I hear his bark sometimes, I mistake shadows for his figure, and I dream about him. I spent the last 5 years working nonstop to make sure we had a comfortable home in a good neighborhood, and I did not spend the time I wanted with him. I do not think anyone wants to hear about it anymore. It has been 5 months since I put him to sleep, but I am still grieving. I do not want or need sympathy. I just want to talk about my pup and how much he meant to me without a pity party or dismissive, I am sorry responses. Good dogs should not die. That is all I am saying. Story 70. I have been a grown man for almost 20 years and still do not know how to be an adult. When I look at people with their cars, expensive furniture, and houses, it all feels like an unattainable peak. Story 71. I am stuck with shame and body image issues because I was repeatedly molested during my childhood. Although nothing seemed very severe at the time, I was groped by a woman who was a friend of my mother. The worst part is that my mother knew about it and would laugh when it happened, and even worse, she still brings her over occasionally. It makes me so sick that I was not taken seriously because I am male. I know it was a different time and culture, but it still feels so wrong. Story 72. I'm still in high school and I already hate myself. As a kid, I was extremely smart and was put into the gifted program, a class for children with an intelligence quotient above 130. The problem is that because of this, I was always told I was smarter and brighter than all the other kids. In gifted, they never actually gave us work, so throughout elementary school, I never had to work at all. Middle school wasn't too bad, but I did have to start working a lot more than before or I would fail my classes. I learned this the hard way in my first year. Eventually, I pulled things together and got through it. Come high school, I still didn't have to work much to get good grades, so I kept the same attitude. Ninth grade went okay enough. I didn't do as well as I wanted, but I still didn't fail anything. Now I'm in 10th grade and I still have zero work ethic, extremely high expectations from my parents, and there is a pandemic and I haven't seen any friends since April. I'm failing 4 classes because I've never had to work nearly as hard as I do now. I'm pretty sure this year is as hard as every year of school I've been through combined. If I tell my parents, what happens? The kid they thought could do great things for the world is now just a no-good, do-nothing failure. They'll tell me I'm overreacting and that high school isn't hard. They'll tell me that I'm going to end up homeless if I don't put things together. They'll start punishing me by taking away my only escape from reality. They'll lock me in my room until I get my attitude together. But I just can't. I'm taking 4 advanced placement classes and I want to drop 2 of them, but they won't let me because they're still under the impression that I'm smarter than everyone when I'm just an average kid who was lied to from a young age. I don't necessarily want to commit suicide, but I wish something would come along and end me. A car crash, a shooting, a house fire, anything that could kill me. If this is the hardest I've ever had to work and it's only 10th grade, what happens to me if I go to college? I'm just screwed there and there's no going back because I have to pay for it. If you are thinking about harming yourself, please seek help now. If you are in the United States, call or text 988 or use the 988 Lifeline online chat. If you are elsewhere, contact your local emergency services or find local crisis resources through organizations such as findahelpline.org. If you can, reach out to someone you trust right now. Story 73. My friends all went camping without me. Each of us lives in different parts of the country. All 4 traveled to a campsite about 30 minutes away. I found out via social media. Hurts, man. We are childhood friends. Story 74. It has been 21 years since I witnessed my brother's horrific death in an accident. I cannot say or hear his name without the visions of that night flooding back like a movie. I hate that my uncle named one of his children after him, so I prefer to use a nickname for that child. Story 75. The last time I tried sharing my emotions with anyone was with my mother. She said, "You only get out of life what you put in." I no longer share anything with her because she doesn't seem to understand that such a simplistic idea of life isn't beneficial. I can barely get my own father to understand that non-white people aren't out to steal our jobs. As for how I'm feeling, tired, physically and mentally. I very likely have some form of depression, which is a common comorbidity of having Asperger's syndrome. A lot of the time I don't even feel like I have it, but there are periods when I just don't care or I have a dull ache at the front of my head that I only get when I'm feeling down, like I want to cry but physically can't. Apparently people with Asperger's who are aware that they're different and cannot change that respond in one of 4 ways, and I have responded with depression. What makes it worse is that you have the same desires, emotions, and feelings as everyone else, but no real way to express them. And no real way to fulfill those desires because you lack the social skills to fit into society and cannot maintain relationships. I'm also tired of the way things are, of the way society works, of how it hates us for existing but refuses to help when we try to make the best of a bad situation. How can people who hold the same opinion as my mother take themselves seriously when they say that and then refuse to offer a hand up if someone asks? You don't take money from a homeless person and then say, "You only get out of life what you put in." Why do that to others? So I am tired, depressed, angry, and disillusioned with society. It's not going to get better anytime soon. Story 76. My ex-wife left me last March. We have been officially divorced since August. One night, while setting the table to play Monopoly, she said, "I don't love you anymore," and then left. We were married from ages 19 to 25. I see her every few days to exchange our 5-year-old son. The truth is I no longer feel love for her, but I still dream about her 4 to 5 nights a week. I can step back and see that she was not perfect. We both had faults, and I think I understand why she left. The problem is that the only time I am truly happy is during those dreams. I wake up, realize it was a dream, and want to go back to sleep to stay there forever. I would never actually kill myself because I love my son and could not do that to him, but sometimes I wish it were out of my hands. I am sorry you are feeling this way. If you are in immediate danger, please call emergency services now. If you are in the United States, you can call or text 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. If you are elsewhere, please contact your local emergency number or a crisis hotline. If you want, I can help find resources or talk more. Story 77. I was not allowed to show emotion as a child or teenager, including happiness, sadness, or anger. Chalk it up to a mentally ill father and a passive enabler mother. When my mother told me at age 13 that I needed plastic surgery to reduce the size of my ears, it hurt more than words can describe. Being bullied for years in middle and high school was made much worse by the fact that I had no one to talk to about it. My coping mechanism for years, until about 2 years ago, was to imagine putting a gun in my mouth. That mental image helped push other emotions away. I have been with my significant other since we were 16. We are 32 now, and I only told her about this 20-year coping mechanism last week. Story 78. If I don't consistently reach out to people first, I could go a whole month without hearing from any of my friends. It's awful when you like someone and want a relationship with them, but you also know that if you don't text them first, they won't text you again. Story 79. I am a woman, and it breaks my heart to read comments from men who are in pain, feel alone, and cannot share how they feel with anyone. I hate how society has conditioned men to be strong and suppress their feelings. It is one of the biggest problems, causing great pain to both the men conditioned this way and to the people they interact with. I witnessed this on my son's first day of school when, at age 4, a female teacher told him to stop crying and that he did not want his mother to see him crying. I was furious that he was already receiving this message, and from a woman no less. My son, now 12, knows he can share any emotion with me, and I hope he will grow into a man who is not afraid of his emotions or of being fully himself. I am in a relationship with a man and would give anything for him to open up to me and share how he is feeling. Like you, he is in pain, depressed, afraid, and does not trust anyone, not even his partner. There are people who care and who want more than anything for you to trust them, be vulnerable, and open up so they can make a real, deep connection with you. Sending massive hugs to you all. Story 80. I feel terribly sorry about ruining everything, and no matter what, it just keeps getting worse. Most of the time I feel like life is not worth living and never has been. When I'm with family and friends I try to hide it, but they can tell I'm not okay. They try to talk with me, but it hurts them too much to hear about it, so I join therapy so they don't have to listen to me so much anymore. I have been going for 7 years now, and I don't know how much more I can take. I know my mom and stepdad love me more than anything, and I love them so much. The last time I visited, my stepdad got a bit drunk and said they have talked about how maybe the best thing would have been if my mom had had an abortion or had waited to have a child until she was better suited for handling a child and a young adult with mental illness, because it's killing both of them to see me like this. I'm so sorry. I never wanted this for them. I feel really broken inside with nothing to live for, but I can't take my own life. It would literally kill them, and I have already caused them so much pain. I feel like I must go on because of them and hope that in the process I can get better and make up for the pain and grief I have caused them. I just want everybody to know that whatever happens, I'm terribly sorry, and I hope people can forgive me. Edit. Wow, thanks for the upvotes. It is more than heartwarming that people took the time to read this. If you are thinking about harming yourself, please seek help now. If you are in the United States, call or text 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. If you are elsewhere, call your local emergency number or a local crisis line. If you want, I can help find resources in your area. Do you have a plan to harm yourself right now? Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.